8 years ago tomorrow, we stood in a different building as we began this journey. And I tried to set out then what I hoped were goals and directions for what I thought the Sheriff's Office should be. One of the goals that I really wanted to focus on was to try to find ways to make the organization more efficient. How could we find ways to make it a different place? In the last 8 years, we've taken over the security of arrestees at the hospital for the police department, making hundreds and hundreds of hours of police time more valuable to the community, making it more efficient, and making our neighborhoods safer. We also took over the serving of criminal warrants for all arrestees who were incarcerated, freeing up, again, hundreds of hours for the police department so that they could go do what they should do, and we could do what we should do, making the community safer and more efficient. We've taken over the pretrial release program from the court system, making it more efficient. We took over the DUI school from the court system, making it more efficient. We've taken over the security for all the hospitals in Nashville, making them safer and more efficient. We've now taken over the security for all the courthouse, making it more efficient. I think it's fair to say we've worked really hard in that one part of what our goal was 8 years ago. Another goal that I set in a courtroom right across the river was that I didn't want to just meet the standard. I didn't want the Sheriff's Office to be happy at being good. I wanted to be great at it. I think as we've looked back, the key to that is to never be satisfied with where we are. We have staff involved in the large jail network, the National Institute of Corrections, the American Correctional Association, the American Jail Association, the National Sheriff's Association. We are recognized all over this country for what we do. We have learned from people, and people have learned from us. We are not happy with being good at it. We want to be great. Maybe the goal and the accomplishment that I'm most proud of, that we stated 8 years ago we wanted to do, is our ability to manage the money that is given to us. It was intimidating to me. It was a part of the function of the job that I did not know well. And over the last 8 years, we've experienced the largest growth in the history of the Sheriff's Office. We added some 250 employees. We also suffered through what is the highest number of reductions ever, by reducing that same number by 100 in these dark economic times. We're sitting here today with the lowest turnover rate in the country. You can't make this up. We do not, as I tell people, take lightly the act of hiring someone, training someone, putting them to work here. But to me, the most important part of all of that is to retain the person. How do you keep people here? Part of what we're trying to do is to find that individual to come to work here, keep that individual here, so too one day they can sit here in the job that I'm in. I came here as an intern some 25 years ago. I was anxious to come to work and learn about this organization and have a chance to do something about it. And for here I am 25 years later. I too believe there are people coming to work here today who deserve that same opportunity. So where do we go from here? I see opportunities for the Sheriff's Office to continue to be out front. I don't like following people sometimes. Let's get out front. Let's try our best to be the leader. We'll look for ways to do that. We have great potential over the next couple of years. Because of the work that you have done and because of the reputation the Sheriff's Office has, we will be asked to do many, many things again. We've been asked to take over many responsibilities in the government, and we're being asked to go all over this country and try to help other organizations like ourselves. I take great pride in that. I always say, watch what you're good at, they'll ask you to do it again. And we're anxious to do that. Looking back, I think it's fair to say that we worked hard to reach a lot of goals that were set in room 8 years ago. There have been things such as floods. There have been things such as distractions we never expected. Who would have known that we would end up in the national news again for our response to what was a very tragic event here in Nashville? The way that we responded to the event says a great deal about the men and women who work here, and I couldn't be more proud of the way that the country looks at the way that you did your job. As much has been accomplished, and as proud as I am of this agency, there is much to do. I'm very proud to tell you there's no better people in America to do it with. Thank you very, very much.